wonder. Anyway, my guest in studio this morning is the author of a book titled Gentle, A Healing Journey in No Particular Order. It is an account of a personal account, she puts it, of her journey of healing. It's a book, she says, she wrote for every person who has lost themselves in some way or while trying so desperately to survive in a career or a relationship after a trauma or devastation or loss. As in the book says, my invitation in the book is for you to tune in to make new agreements and start choosing yourself in a way that prioritizes your well-being. Now, the author of the book is Yolanda Arendse, and she's in studio with me. Hello, Yolanda Arendse.
Morning, TT, and the whole Power Breakfast team. Really awesome to be here today. Thank you.
It is so good to have you here with us. It is good to see you after a very, very long time. How are you now?
Yeah, now I am really good. Thank you. I'm in a completely different space to some of the spaces you saw me in many years ago. So I'm a lot calmer. I'm a lot more clear about who I am in the world and how I want to be, how I want to show up.
How long has it been then since you've been on this journey, if you put it that way?
So in short, probably about 7 or 8 years. I actually had an anxiety breakdown in 2017.
When you have that episode, I mean, and you describe it as an anxiety breakdown. Wow. How does an anxiety breakdown differ, say, from what you often hear people say, mental breakdown? Is it all one and the same thing? Is it, or is there something captured in the fact that an anxiety versus,
I suppose mental conditions have, there's certain medical terms that will define more mental conditions, things that have to do with chemical imbalances in the brain, etc. Whereas mine was quite anxiety related. It was a buildup of stress and anxiety combined with cumulative burnout conditions that actually led to, so therefore I've sort of, I won't say I've self-diagnosed because I did go and see doctors, but it kind of falls more into the anxiety breakdown. It was completely a breakdown as a result of having constant anxiety.
And this is anxiety that was induced, even though you say that the book is about relationships, people want to also, need to extract themselves or lost themselves in relationships. But yours is primarily about how you lost yourself in the place of work, in the corporate world, how your relentless pursuit of that climbing that corporate ladder eventually just led you to a place where you lost yourself. And I'm just wondering how many people are in the position that you were in, or that you eventually ended up in, because when you are in it, you don't see anything abnormal about it, nor do you feel anything about abnormal about it. I mean, it was shocking for me to see at some point you talk about finding your inbox with 8,000 emails. I cannot even relate, But I imagine that was not your only your inbox wasn't the only one with 8,000.
Right.
So how do you know when this is actually getting out of hand? I mean, you didn't know until it was completely out of hand.
Until it was completely out of hand. Precisely that. And so I think that is almost the key message now that I like to talk about, is creating awareness around picking up the signs a lot sooner, because I had no idea. You know that you're feeling out of sorts with yourself. You know that your heart is beating fast. You know you're constantly feeling a knot in your stomach or butterflies. And there's a whole lot of mood swings that are all around frustration and irritation and maybe even anger. But you don't put it down to the fact that it's overwhelm. And overwhelm is just built up between going from this meeting to that meeting, driving to the next one, checking 5 emails in between, quickly responding to that, shifting a meeting, saying you'll be available for something else that wasn't in your diary. And it rolls from the moment you open your eyes till you go and sleep, maybe 16, 17, 18 hours later. And it's a wheel, it's a hamster wheel. They talk about that hamster wheel in the corporate world. But you don't know you're in it because you're just trying to survive.
Yeah. If you are somebody who's caught up in the midst of the rat race and the humdrum and that relentless chase for up, running up that corporate ladder, and you know you're doing too much, or you're feeling overwhelmed but have done nothing about it, this book that we are talking about might be something that would be worth reading and just seeing how much of it resonates with you. It is called Gentle, The Healing Journey in no particular order, written by Yolanda Arendt. So Yolanda, as I was saying, just the question I was asking it about the culture that exists, and I'm wondering what people, the kind of things that people who are currently in that rat race, or who are on that wheel, need to check how they need to check themselves, and what has changed in that culture.
Right.
I don't know how many conversations you had with people that you even worked with after your breakdown.
Absolutely.
Or whether it was first communicated through this book, because I'm wondering whether anything has. You wouldn't know, I suppose, what is happening at that your former book of business. There, and in terms of whether there's anybody learning any lessons.
Right.
And
I think once we know better, we have to do better, and that's really been the driver for me. Is I now have these conversations as a formal thing. It is I train to become a business and life coach, specializing in ontological coaching, which is about the study of the way of the human being. We really study how human beings operate, and now I teach this. So the conversations have been had, but what's affecting people really is, and we don't notice the signs, but it's this chronic sleep deprivation, constantly being ill or having headaches and missing work days. It's erratic mood swings.
These are red flags.
These are the flags we should be looking for. Suddenly you're not taking care of your personal well-being. You're not eating well. You don't even have time to go to the toilet or the bathroom during work hours. Or you're trying to go sleep, but these thoughts are constantly running and keeping you awake. Those are the red flags. That's what we should be looking for. And if any of some of these signs are showing up for you, it is the start, or you're halfway through or quite far into chronic burnout. And these things, we can heal from them, but it takes real serious effort. To me, self-care is not just having a bubble bath. It is way deeper than that. It's having the important conversations to rectify things. It's changing our behavioral patterns, changing your sleep routine, really going to bed earlier so that your body can actually rest, your brain can recuperate in terms of the cells reproducing at night, because this is how we function better. This is how we think more clearly in our daytime. And so I think these are the important things. The conversations in the workplace are shifting from the time when I was in corporate and even further back from that. But corporates are paying more attention now. Employee wellness programs are absolutely critical in the workplace, and they are in place. I work for, not directly, but as on a contract with one of the big banks, quite close to you guys, in fact. I'm contracted in a coaching program, and we coach the executives there around this stuff, around your role as a leader is really about taking care of the people. Yes, you have a set of skills that is either in financial services or engineering, but as a leader, your role is to take care of the people, to be aware of what's going on with your team, where they're at, how to support them so that they can produce the best. And part of that support is well-being, mental and physical. And so this is the stuff that I place more than 50% of the responsibility on the leadership in organizations to become aware, to educate ourselves about the stuff that is needed to support our teams. And it goes way beyond giving a massage voucher and taking half a day off here and there. This is really supporting the team throughout the year in a program that really helps them become aware of how they can personally manage their self-care. We have to teach people to manage themselves.
What is the biggest lesson that you've learned out of all of this, that having been through the journey that you have been? What is the single biggest lesson that you think you can share?
Sure. It always is hard to pinpoint a single biggest, but I will really try, and I'll kind of combine it in this. We always have the option of choice.
That's a big one.
Choice. We always have choice. Sometimes we might think, I don't really want to lose my job, or I can't afford to take time off. But would you rather take time off or be dead and not be available to your family? So choice, it is always there. The consequence might mean something different. We might not like the outcome of what we choose, or we do like the outcome because we managed to save ourselves. But every time you think you don't have a choice, you just have to look at it from a bit further back, and you will notice you always have the option of choice. And I really want people to think about that, to choose something different for themselves. It doesn't mean leaving your career, but it maybe means making a different choice, finishing
In
work
terms of-
earlier,
yes.
in terms of saying, I don't want this high flying position anymore, I'll take a lower salary cut, but I can't handle the stress anymore. But choice is always available to us.
All right. Please read a little excerpt for us to wrap up with, just to give
Beautiful.
people a little bit of a taste of how the book is, what is in the book, and how it is written.
Right, so it goes. It was the statement made by the doctor whom I saw for a follow-up appointment 2 days after the burnout anxiety breakdown that gonged deafeningly in my previously muted ears. Studying my chart and the referral note for a moment, he looked up and with the most penetrating blue eyes he said, "It's May now. That means you're 6 months away from your 43rd birthday. That is," he paused, softening his tone ever so slightly, "if you make it to 43. Another long pause. At this rate, with the amount of cortisol in your system and the way you've been operating purely on adrenaline, I can almost guarantee that you will have a stroke or a heart attack before you turn 43. What I can't guarantee is that it won't be completely debilitating or even fatal."
That is scary. That is scary. Wow. That's Yolanda Aronson. She has written this book, this account of her journey of healing following years of damage done by a corporate rat race. It's called The Gentle Healing Journey in No Particular Order.
So you can go on the website, thegentlelife.org, and you'll find the book page. And when you click on the book page, you can place an order and it comes via our printer.
Right.
So it gets delivered within 5 to 7 days.
Awesome.
And everything about what I do now, my coaching work in the world. And this is really me being an advocate for taking gentle care of ourselves.
Fantastic. Congratulations on the wonderful book. It's really beautifully written. You are a wonderful writer, and thank you as well for sharing, and then allowing yourself to be vulnerable and being so candid and really sharing so much of yourself. I think there's a lot that people can learn from this and take from this. So, and I'm so glad to see you in this space that you are in now. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much. It really has been such an honor to talk about this important theme, and it's really good to see you again. And may this conversation continue, very critical in the workplace and for people. Thank you.